Cleveland, 1935. A city struggling to find its footing amidst the economic turmoil of the Great Depression. The once bustling streets now echo with the sounds of hardship and despair. The Great Depression tightens its grip. Families line up for bread, their faces etched with worry and hunger. Jobs are scarce and hope is a rare commodity. Shadows grow long in Kingsbury Run. This part of the city, already neglected and forgotten, becomes even more desolate as the sun sets. The darkness brings with it an air of foreboding, a desolate wasteland, a dumping ground. It becomes a graveyard. The abandoned industrial areas, once symbols of progress, now stand as silent witnesses to the city's decline. In these forgotten corners, something sinister begins to take root. Bodies surface, discarded, dismembered. The gruesome discoveries send shockwaves through the community. Each body tells a story of unimaginable horror, a life cut short in the most brutal of ways. The victims' forgotten souls lost in the depths of despair. Panic grips the city. Whispers turn to screams. The fear is palpable, spreading like wildfire through the streets and alleys. The Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run stalks the night. His presence is felt even when he is not seen. The mere thought of him sends shivers down the spines of Cleveland's residents. His gruesome work, a macabre puzzle. Detectives work tirelessly, piecing together the fragments of evidence left behind. Each clue, no matter how small, is a potential key to unlocking the mystery. Each piece, a horrifying testament to his depravity. Police scramble, leads vanish like smoke, the body count rises, the pressure mounts as the community demands answers and justice. The city holds its breath. Every new day brings with it the fear of another discovery, another victim. The tension is unbearable, a constant weight on the shoulders of every resident. Fear seeps into everyday life. People lock their doors and windows, taking extra precautions to protect themselves and their loved ones. The sense of security they once knew is now a distant memory. Mothers clutch their children closer. The innocence of childhood is overshadowed by the looming threat. Parents do everything in their power to shield their children from the horrors unfolding around them. Lovers steal glances over their shoulders. No one is safe. The fear of the unknown, of the unseen predator, casts a shadow over even the most intimate moments. The Mad Butcher could be anyone. A neighbor, a friend, a passerby. The uncertainty breeds paranoia, and trust becomes a rare commodity. A monster hiding in plain sight. The killings continue. A macabre spectacle. A city's worst nightmare. The Mad Butcher's reign of terror leaves an indelible mark on Cleveland, a dark chapter in its history that will never be forgotten. The victims, often unidentifiable, their faces destroyed, their bodies a gruesome jigsaw puzzle. A signature emerges. Decapitation, dismemberment, a chilling precision, almost surgical. Whispers of a doctor gone rogue, a medical student seeking forbidden knowledge. The rumors swirl, fueling the terror. The killer moves with ease, confident, in control. One night a man escapes. He recounts his tale. A harrowing encounter, a brush with death. The description is vague, a glimpse of a shadowy figure, the butcher's face forever hidden. Kingsbury Run becomes a place of dread, a no-man's land, a hunting ground. The city holds its breath, waiting, watching. The killings continue, sporadic, unpredictable. Theories abound. A serial killer? A group of deranged individuals? The police chase shadows. Each lead ends in a dead end. Frustration mounts. The killer remains elusive. The city descends further into fear, every stranger a suspect, every shadow a potential hiding place. The Mad Butcher's reign of terror continues. Elliot Ness, famed lawman, takes charge. He vows to catch the butcher. Hope flickers. Ness, a beacon in the darkness. He assembles a team. The investigation intensifies. The pressure mounts. Leads run cold. Suspects cleared. The butcher remains a phantom. Ness, relentless, digs deeper. He examines the evidence. The victims, the locations. The killer is cunning. He leaves no trace. The case grows colder. The city's hope dwindles. The Mad Butcher has vanished. Kingsbury Run, a desolate landscape, a place of shadows and secrets, the perfect hunting ground. The victims often found in isolated spots, discarded, forgotten. The killer seeks out the vulnerable, the lonely, those living on the fringes of society. He preys on their isolation, their fear, their silence. Families torn apart, loved ones vanish, the pain lingers, the fear remains. The Mad Butcher's legacy of terror, a shadow over Kingsbury Run. Section 6, Echoes in the Dark. In the stillness of the night, When the world is cloaked in shadows, the echoes of our deepest fears come to life. The darkness is not just an absence of light, but a canvas for our imagination, painting pictures of the unknown and the terrifying. The Mad Butcher's crimes resonate with our deepest fears. His actions are a stark reminder of the evil that can lurk in the most unexpected places. The fear of the unknown, the unpredictability of human nature, and the darkness that resides within each of us. The darkness that lurks within, the unknown, the unpredictable. These are the elements that make us feel vulnerable, that make us question our safety and the safety of those we love. It's the fear of what we cannot see, what we cannot understand, and what we cannot control. We seek answers, closure. We want to understand the motives behind such heinous acts, to find a reason, a pattern, something that can help us make sense of the senseless. The detectives, the investigators, they are our hope, our shield against the darkness. A way to make sense of the senseless. We pore over clues, dissect every piece of evidence, hoping to find that one thread that will unravel the mystery. It's a painstaking process, filled with frustration and dead ends, but we persist, because we need to know. Films like Zodiac and Memories of Murder tap into this primal fear, the chilling realization that some monsters walk among us. These films remind us that the line between reality and fiction is often blurred, and that the horrors we see on screen can be all too real. Some monsters walk among us, they blend in, hiding in plain sight, their true nature concealed behind a mask of normalcy. It's this uncertainty, this inability to distinguish friend from foe, that keeps us on edge, always looking over our shoulder, their motives, shrouded in mystery. We may never fully understand what drives them, what dark desires and twisted thoughts fuel their actions. This lack of understanding only adds to our fear, making these figures even more terrifying. These stories stay with us. They haunt our dreams, our waking moments, a constant reminder of the fragility of our existence. We try to move on, to forget, but the echoes of these dark tales linger, refusing to be silenced. They linger in the back of our minds, a shadow that follows us, a whisper in the dark, a reminder that evil exists. And sometimes it wins. It's a sobering thought, one that forces us to confront the darker aspects of our nature and the world around us. A reminder. Evil exists, and sometimes it wins. But in acknowledging this, we also find strength. The strength to face our fears, to seek justice, and to hold on to the hope that, in the end, good will prevail. Section 7. Consumed by the puzzle. Elliot Ness, haunted by the case, the unsolved murders, the victims denied justice, the Mad Butcher still out there, a ghost in the machine. The obsession takes hold, a relentless pursuit of the truth. A need to understand, to catch the monster, to bring closure to the families. Ness, driven by his demons. The case consumes him. He never gives up, even in the face of defeat. The Mad Butcher remains his white whale. Section 8. The Legend of Kingsbury Run. Time marches on, relentlessly ticking away the seconds, minutes, and hours. The cityscape changes, but some stories remain etched in the fabric of time. The case fades from memory, buried under layers of new headlines and forgotten tales. Yet in the dusty archives and yellowed pages of old newspapers, the story of Kingsbury Run lingers, waiting to be rediscovered. But the legend lives on, haunting the dark alleys and empty streets. The misty corners of the city hold whispers of the past, where shadows seem to move with a life of their own. The Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run, a boogeyman, a cautionary tale, whispers in the dark. His name, scrawled in graffiti, serves as a chilling reminder of the terror that once gripped the city. The shadowy figure, a symbol of fear, lurks in the collective memory. Stories passed down through generations. The truth becomes blurred. Fact and fiction intertwine. Around campfires and in hushed conversations, the tale of the Mad Butcher is retold, each version adding new layers to the myth. The legend takes on a life of its own, growing and evolving with each retelling. It becomes more than just a story. It becomes a part of the city's identity, a mythical figure that transcends time. Kingsbury Run remains a place of mystery, its overgrown tracks and desolate areas echoing with the secrets of the past. The very air seems thick with the weight of untold stories and unresolved mysteries, a grim reminder of the city's dark past. The Mad Butcher, a ghost story. The broken-down buildings and rusty relics serve as silent witnesses to the horrors that once unfolded here, a chilling testament to the city's haunted history, a legend whispered on the wind. The wind carries the echoes of the past, the whispers of a legend that refuses to die. The shadowy figure in the distance, a fleeting glimpse of the mad butcher, keeps the story alive, a haunting presence that lingers in the collective consciousness. Section 9. A Glimmer in the Fog. The Mad Butcher's identity remains a mystery, the case unsolved, but there is still hope. New leads may emerge, technology advances, DNA testing, facial reconstruction. Perhaps one day the truth will be revealed, the victims finally given a voice, the families given closure. Until then, the Mad Butcher's shadow lingers. We must never forget. The victims, the families. The search for justice continues. Share your thoughts. Keep the story alive.